Hey, what's up everyone? Saintsfan back again with another GTA Online video, and today we're going to be doing a DLC concept video. I haven't done one of these in quite some time, but 2018 is a new year. We don't really know what is coming to GTA Online, so I figured we can talk about some really cool concepts. Now this one is called OUTRUN Overdrive, and it's from Wackadoodle-Doo. I'll leave a link in the description to the original post. The basic description of this: it's the distant future. The year is 2018. The dystopian streets of Los Santos run blanketed in flickering street lamps as worldless warriors rip the city apart with their weapons of mass destruction. Now, in a pathetic attempt to sate the bloodlust of these midnight marauders, Rockstar proudly presents the OUTRUN Overdrive update for GTA Online, giving players a host of new free mode events, activities, vehicles, and weapons with which to stalk the dark streets of this crumbling city. The future is now, and it is a color of shimmering neon purple. So right off the bat, you get an idea of what this little concept is about. It's somewhat of a 80s themed, like retro cyberpunk theme, and personally, I love that sort of stuff. So this DLC is right up my alley, but it's got some really cool features. So some of the stuff in it, he says there would be new free mode jobs called night calls, which we'll get into more detail in a second. There's a new radio station, Night Ride FM, and this is somewhat of a synth style radio station, which I would absolutely love. Also, burglary jobs would now be available for players who purchase a storefront for fencing goods and own a vehicle fit for moving loot. He says players would now could now invade player-owned properties with home invasions. Also, players will now have access to clubs and bars across the state of San Andreas. 7 new 70s and 80s era vehicles would be added to the game. A new collection of vicious weapons would be added. New upgrades would be available for research, I guess, with like the gun running bunker stuff. And the last feature, he says VIPs, CEOs, and motorcycle club presidents can now host parties with NPC guests and security at extra cost through their executive assistant or Melk, respectively. So the first thing that you'll somewhat realize is that this isn't some grand DLC, and that's fine. I don't think we should expect every DLC to come out to be grand and huge like, the Doomsday Heist DLC. Obviously, those take time to make, so if they were to release some smaller DLCs in between, I think this is somewhat of a good DLC that fits that description. Now, some other improvements that this update concept would bring: CEO, VIP, and motorcycle club presidents now have the option to save up to 3 organization styles, with 3 variants per each style. Players can now perform interactive character actions such as dancing, high fives, fist bumps, and play fighting. Players can now listen to music when equipping certain headphones. That's kind of cool. Pegasus will now deliver customized hangar vehicles. Not really sure why that is needed, because you can just call them through your interaction menu. Players can now keep track of their gunrun and MC business stocks via the Maze Bank websites. Contact reminders can now be deactivated using a player's phone. Players can now unlock or purchase trophies and items and then use them to personalize their interiors at their properties. Adjustments have been made to the crew unlocks page, allowing crew leaders and commissioners the ability to customize them further and fix a number of issues with glitches. So far, I really do like the concept. There's some problems, right? I don't exactly know how Rockstar would add like interactive character actions to the game. Dancing's probably easy, but high fives with other players, I'm not entirely sure how that would work. Obviously, I don't like research, so adding more, even though some of it's kind of cool, adding more of it, I don't think I would like that. And I don't think a lot of people would like that, because it's more stuff they gotta pay for. Also, the home invasions, which I'll talk about in a second here a little bit more, but is it really a good idea to have players breaking into people's homes? I don't know. That could be questioned. Now, going into detail about some of these new features, the new radio station, Night Ride FM. This would be freaking amazing. He says it would be a synthwave blend of 80s keyboard melodies to set the tone for your noir adventures across the underbelly of Los Santos, hosted by the king of synthwave music himself, DJ Kavinsky. I'm guessing that's a real life artist. But a new synthwave style radio station, like I said, I'm an absolute sucker for that sort of style and all that, so I would love that. And this somewhat goes into the clubs and bars that would be opened in this DLC. Now the list, he says Tequila La, Bahama Mamas, West, the Hen House, Clappers, Cockatoos, the Lust Resort, Society, the Vault, the Dungeon Crawler, Eclipse Lounge, Hornbills, and Pitchers. More than likely, if we do ever get clubs and stuff like that in the game, it's only gonna be a few. I doubt they're gonna make interiors for all of them, but either way, opening clubs and then maybe allowing players to purchase them in some aspect or in some form, that is something that I would really like. Now the biggest part about this DLC are the new free mode events, and they are called night calls. Now he says contracts come and go in the criminal world, and the best way to get something done is to have a phone ringing at the right time and have the right silent psychopath pick it up. New free roam jobs for players may appear, showing as phone icons appearing across the map. If a player answers one of these payphones, they will be assigned a contract that will reward them with some quick cash. These can range from attacks on gang hideouts, destroying a depot of cars or supplies, disrupting a drug deal, or even targeting other players. Players can even share cash from these free mode jobs with other players in the session. One thing is certain, do the jobs, get paid, and don't ask questions. And some of the ideas he has for these I think sound awesome. So one is called Night Stalker, and it says you have to pursue and follow the targeted player for a certain amount of time. Remain within the radius without being killed to succeed. Your blip is hidden, but the stalked player gets a warning they are being followed. Example, it would say like an uneasy feeling hits you, like someone is watching you. And that would be somewhat of a cool little challenge in free roam. You're off the radar and you have to blend in with the NPCs. Another one, Just Drive. Pick up 1 to 3 NPC robbers from their stick up and get them to safety. Kind of a neat one, nothing too crazy there. The next one, Modus Operandi. Probably said that wrong. Kill the targeted player by the client's requested means. So for example, it would say kill so-and-so with a shotgun, or kill so-and-so with a knife. Again, that's another really cool challenge that may not end up working because of just all the crazy stuff that's in free roam now, but it is kind of nice, right? Another one, Sacrificial Lamb. Pick up a player or prostitute and take them to the altruist to be sacrificed. That's kind of fun. Bomb Voyage. Pick up a designated car, plant a bomb in it, and get it back before the time is up. The next one, House Calls. Go to the selected gang hub and kill as many gang members as you can without dying. Then we have a Secret Admirer. Track down a player and get a picture of them for an estranged secret admirer. That's another really cool challenge. Gravedigger. Lead a targeted player out to a burial spot, have them dig a grave, and then kill them. Not sure how you would do that, but it's interesting. Then we have Vigilante, steal a police car, check the LSPD database. A player is randomly selected, hunt that person down, and kill them. And then the final one, Snitches Get Stitches. Collect intel on a weapons/contraband deal, sneak up on it, and call the police on the scene. So with these new free mode events, I mean, these sound way cooler and way more fun than the ones we have in the game already. One of the main complaints with all of the new DLCs is that the missions are fairly the same. Whether it's gun running, smuggler's run, import, export, it's all go here, get something, and then drive it back. These would be a nice change of pace, so I'm all down for these night calls. Now, one thing that he adds in this update, burglary. He says, as the darkness of night descends on Los Santos, homes around the map will be marked as targets for petty burglary, ranging from small suburban dwellings to lavish mansions between the fine wood hills. A player's stealth skill finally comes into play with the ability to quietly carry out these robberies and, of course, eventually tackle bigger targets with more rewards and more risk. The player then can transport their vehicle full of loot to nearby pawn shops to fence off the goods. If a player wants to make more income from their robberies over time, they can purchase these shops as fronts to fence their stolen goods on their behalf, making more money for them passively when fencing fronts are fully stocked. Players can use any van, SUV, or truck class to carry the loot, and vehicle size will determine how much you can carry at a time. So again, just something different, and I kind of like the idea. You're breaking into people's houses, right, and stuff, and the stealth ability finally comes into play because that's absolutely useless in the game. And then you go sell it at a pawn shop, or if you want to make more money, you can then buy the pawn shop and have that as another business. Then he also talks about home invasions, and this is the part I don't really know if I would like, but he says with home invasions you can now become the very thing that goes bump in the night. Players will have the option to invade other players' homes and properties if they use the new unlock and load website in order to copy keys for their other player-owned properties. Don't think that's really necessary, but he did bring it up in this update. And then he also talks about new clothing, tattoos, hairstyles, and more. Obviously, just sort of matching the 80s theme. New weapons he has are a studded bat, a levered shotgun, the burst fire pistol, like a M93 Raffica. I think that's one of the main ones I believe they use in Call of Duty and stuff. A flamethrower, that'd be cool. A smoke grenade or a smoke grenade launcher, and that would be somewhat of the research. Like you would convert the Mark II, or you would convert the grenade launcher to a Mark II weapon where you have the option of putting a smoke grenade or a smoke bomb on it. And then he also talks about new vehicles, and they're basically just like 80s themed vehicles, right? Vehicles, I don't think they're too important because Rockstar do whatever they want apparently with vehicles in the updates, regardless of what the style is. So this isn't that important. But one thing that someone brought up that I would really like, so in Blade Runner, the movie, it's somewhat of a similar style. They have these crazy looking cars, and he said it would be nice to have something like that, maybe that flew like the Deluxo, but just without any weapons, so you could maybe enjoy flying around without people trying to kill you. But all in all, I mean, I think this is a really cool and unique update concept. Like I said, there's some stuff that obviously would need reworking, and I'm sure Rockstar would like to add a few more things that could make them more money. But the fact that it's just new and unique and different free mode events and free mode missions, I'm totally down for that. And a lot of people like the 80s vibe, so having a DLC somewhat based on that, I think would be really popular. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this concept update. Would you like to see it in the game? If you would, drop the video a like, share it with Rockstar maybe. Go check out the original post in the description. I don't know if we will get something like this. I don't know if Rockstar is still sort of looking at what the community wants and taking requests, but if they are, this would be a fantastic addition to the game. So anyway, that is it with the video. Thank you all for watching. Please drop the video a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe for more awesome GTA content, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.